in the house. I'm being recorded, so I'm gonna stop singing and dancing. Nope, no more singing and dancing. Not gonna do it. Not gonna sing and dance. All right. All right. I think Erin is gonna share her screen, right? All right.
I'm
Erin.
not gonna share my screen. I was just gonna read some things
Ah, okay.
to y'all.
Yeah.
We gonna keep this pretty simple.
Because it's, look, right? This is.
I like your hat.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? Look at how much gray. This is all from real estate.
Oh my God.
I am 24 years old.
I'm getting there too, Howard. So please don't rub it in.
24 years old and look like that. What is happening? All right. So let me just preface this. I think you've started recording. This is a safety class. September is Realtor Safety Training Month. And the thing is people try and reinvent how to stay safe in this industry. And we took people to jujitsu once, and that ended up being more fun than anything because Keith and I made ourselves look stupid, which is not hard. And then, we brought in police officers and all stuff. But if you really get down to the basics of it, you just got to be cognizant of your surroundings and listen to your gut as the most important thing. There are other things, but that's the most important thing. I can't tell you how many realtors walk around, Aaron, right now, and they'll show homes like this. Now, they're not texting people, but they're in HomeSnap, or they're looking at the document on their phone, and they're walking around like, so this is the kitchen. Let me find out what the HOA fee is. And their heads down, and they're not paying attention to the people in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. Well,
So,
and on that same note, I'm going to read you a couple of things. These are all in the last couple of years.
okay.
And I'm reading this because I feel like the overall attitude is it's probably not going to happen to me.
Bingo.
Cool. The real estate broker in Illinois alone in the house with a prospect, Stanley Keller, who was an ex-con, but she didn't know that.
Of course not.
Keller asked the female broker to show him the upstairs bedrooms, basement, and garage. As she was leaving the tour, she felt her body vibrating and she was having trouble speaking. When she turned to face Keller, he was pointing a gun at her. After a struggle, the broker was able to escape.
Yep.
Maryland.
But the thing that I want to point out in that one, that is a danger that we are all in the minute you get your real estate license and decide to practice. But the thing to note is she said she felt something was wrong.
Yep.
And listen, one of the reasons why we don't have top seller and top lister awards, and we don't push quotas, and we don't give quantity based like trips on a cruise and sell 8 homes in a month, and you're going, and then Rena is at number 7 on the 29th, and she gets this lead and she's like, gosh, I really feel funny about that person, but I really want to win that cruise. And she goes against her gut because she wants to go show this house to a guy. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it.
Here's another one. A real estate agent met a man, Nathaniel Cox, at her real estate office, where he explained to her that he was part of an investment group looking to invest in the local real estate market. So she decided to show him a nearby property and had him follow her there in his car. When they arrived, he said that he was actually a male porn star, began touching her inappropriately, grabbing her arms, and when she tried to escape, he blocked her from leaving. And when the police arrived, they arrested him and charged him with second-degree assault on a female. That's kind of my point in sharing that one, is that she didn't know anything about this person. She didn't have a driver's license. She hadn't done any snooping on who he is or what he was. She heard real estate investment and thought, this is my chance. and took him to a house. This most recent one absolutely breaks my heart. And this is the last one that I'm going to read, but this was in March of this year, when a realtor in Fort Lauderdale was showing a home, and the people who he was showing the home to had left. And while he was alone in the home, was approached by a young man with a gun, who then kidnapped him at gunpoint, took him to an ATM, had him withdraw a whole bunch of money, and then shot him, and the guy died. And my point in telling you that story is that it wasn't even the people that he was with to show the home to. It was somebody who came upon the home later and was armed and tried to rob him. Now, where was his backup? Where was his safety timer? Where was his partner? Where were the people who knew where he was and what he was going to be doing?
And what did we talk about the other day? I mean, you know, obviously I wasn't there and I don't know the whole scenario and how it played out, but I don't want you guys in the houses turning around. We talk about the lights. It's the lights thing, right? So you're in this house with these people. You've got all the lights on. And if you're a smart realtor, you met them there. You didn't drive them there. You didn't park your car in the driveway. You parked it on the street.
Mhm,
You went in the house. You locked the door when you were in the house.
mhm.
You turn all the lights on. Then you come back downstairs. And I like to wait outside for them. Leave the door unlocked and I wait outside so I can see everything that's going on, right? And they show up and you go in the house and you show these people the house, and you know, hopefully you've had their ID and all that sort of stuff. And when you leave and they leave the house, I don't want you turning the lights off. Just
Right.
get out of the house.
Mhm.
Now, there are some listings that, you know, have directions, please turn lights off, whatever, and you feel necessary, fine. Walk the people out the door, lock it, lock the door, then go turn the lights off and then come back out.
Yep.
Okay?
But
And
we're
I know
so
people-
busy that
and the people-
sometimes, yeah,
And they're going to say, people are going to say, and they might laugh about it and go, I heard you lock the door. And your comeback is, yeah, it's a brokerage policy for safety. I have to lock the door when I go turn the lights off. They won't think again about it. Okay, brokerage policy, done, go.
unless they're a murderer.
Oh, then they're going to be like, dang it. Yeah. So we have to be cognizant of that. That's a big thing. I want you guys out of the house and in your car and out of there
Mhm,
as soon as possible.
mhm.
No, and I know we talk about writing the offer in the home with them. Yeah, if you have a hotspot or you're tethering to your phone and you want to write an offer, then fine, go lock the front door.
Right.
You know, and this is obviously after you feel comfortable that this family of 5 isn't going to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, but we got to be smart. We got to be safe. If you're feeling Julia mentioned, or was it Jen? I think it was Julia and Jen, maybe. They had a customer that they just felt really weird about. And
Yeah.
luckily they got, I think it was Julia, and she brought someone with her. And
Yeah.
that it wasn't even a realtor, it was a friend. And he hung out in the front yard while she showed this home. And thank God, because she said there, you know, if you know Julia, she said there was dark energy going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Well, and
And-
that's the thing is you've got a brokerage full of realtors who, if you say, I got a call to go show a house, I'm a little uncomfortable about the person, but I'm not sure. Is there anybody available to go with me? You've
Yeah.
got people that, and if nobody's available to go with you, and we're going to go through a list of things right now, then you call somebody up on FaceTime, you have them
Oh,
with you.
FaceTime,
And
what a win.
I wouldn't be afraid to say when you get to the house, hey, I'm showing this home alone today, which is why I have someone on FaceTime who knows my location and has, you know, GPS location on where I am for safety.
Yeah. And they might even ask you, oh, really? Tell me more about it. Oh, well, think about this. I got my real estate license and I'm taking people that I just met to vacant homes.
Right.
And they'll be like, yeah, that sounds dangerous.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's,
No, I was going to say, I don't know that we, Pam, Renna, Jillian, myself, and everybody who's going to watch this after the fact, realize what a dangerous job this is. And as soon as I lay this description out, then we'll move on to what you're going to talk about. But if you said to a 18-year-old, 19-year-old thinking about what career they want to get into,
Yeah.
and you said to them, I want you for no pay, okay, for a promise that you'll get paid, to meet strangers off the internet sometimes.
Yeah.
And drive and meet them at vacant homes you've never been to.
In neighborhoods you might not know well.
Yeah. And take them in the home and walk them around the home. Just you. Sometimes at night, sometimes in the morning. And then maybe later you might get paid at some point in time. But in the meantime, you're going to walk through these vacant homes with people that you've never met before. You'd be like, I think I'm going to wait tables. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But we do it. Right. So it's just we're always complacent in this job. And I don't necessarily know why, but let's transition to what you were going to talk about.
Yeah, so let's go through kind of just a list of basic safety stuff. And if anybody's got a question or a comment or has experienced any of the stuff, just let us know. But number one,
I think Pam will have a story. I think Pam has a story later on, I think.
Okay, good. Number one, don't turn off the lights when you're finished showing a home, which is what you just said. And if you have to, then get everyone out first, lock the door, and then turn the lights off. We have this like compulsion where it's like, well, we have to leave the house the way we found it. And we override our own safety in order to turn out lights.
And the thing is if an agent feels like I'm going to get in trouble for not turning the lights off, the listing agent's going to get mad at me. Then when they call you and they start tearing, hey, you know what? My seller is so mad. They came home and all the lights are on. And you say, well, look, we at our brokerage have determined that it's a safety issue and we're not going to walk back through the house a second or third time distracted and in a hurry to turn the lights off alone with a potential stranger. And so it's a safety issue. No, well, my seller's very upset. So the easiest thing is, you know what? It's a brokerage policy. Call my broker.
Yeah.
That's it. It's that easy. Move on. And when they call me, I'll say the exact same thing. She didn't turn the lights off. Great. Your seller's mad. Tell them I'm sorry. Click.
We will pay for that extra 2 hours of electricity.
don't
They had to, like, I mean, really, what's, anyway. So that's number
40 cents, 50 cents.
Right. That's number one. Number two, are you using some kind of a safety timer? Are you using some kind of an app on your phone that gives people that you trust your location and has a way to indicate to them that you are in trouble? Whether you're FaceTiming someone live while you're walking your clients through the home, or you've got the safety timer on, I think it's Home Snap.
Yeah, so Home Snap, when you're within 500 feet or yards, I don't remember which one it is, but like I'm bringing it up right now. Okay, here's Home Snap. So I don't know if you guys can see that. There's Home Snap. And this is my location. So when I zoom out, and I'm going to find a listing of a home nearby. There's one. I'm going to click it. So if I can get my thumb to work, there it is. And it's going to come up as vacant land, but we'll pretend it's a listing because I think it'll say right there. Look, start. Oh, you can't see it, can you? The brightness. No, right there under agent actions. The very first one under agent actions is start safety timer. So if I just click that and I put my husband, Keith, and my wife, Ashley, and the amount of time I think it's going to take, and I hit the start safety timer. By the way, when I've done this for some of you guys, when I'm teaching you about it, I've not turned it back off. And it works because I'll get a text message or a call from my wife being like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So it's really simple. And it's right in your safety timer in Home Snap.
And if you don't want to use that one, there's another one Howard introduced me to called Noon Light.
They do, right. They do different things, right? So I think the easiest one to use right out of the gates is the Home Snap safety timer.
It is, for sure.
You got to set it up. But the other one is Noon Light, which is an app on your phone. Noon Light. Can't see it again, of course. Oh, it was just about to focus. I took it right there. Noon light. See it? Noon light, the circle. So I hit noon light, and noon light is a proactive safety app. That's what I like to call it. And what I mean is, in comparison to home snaps are reactive ones. Set a safety timer. You don't turn it off in an hour, it's going to start ringing people to let them know something's wrong. Noon light is different. Noon light has this big white button on it, Aaron. Look at that big white button. There it is. And I'm just going to put my thumb on it. And while I'm talking with my hands and I'm shooting the shit with my client and doing a little dance and doing it up. Yep, doing that. I've got my thumb on it. But let's just say, dude walks up behind me and hits me in the head, and I drop my phone. Guess what? It's going off, and it says I've got 10 seconds to turn this bad boy off with a PIN number, or else it's calling the cops and letting them know where I'm at. I love that. And that's free.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're not going to forget not to do that. Like home snap, you might forget to turn off your safety timer in an hour and get a call, but noon light, you're not going to forget. So that's a really good one. There's another one that just came out. I think a realtor made it. It's called Safe Showings Enterprise, and you have to log in with that, and it's kind of does some stuff too. And they have pay packages and things like that for that. All of those things matter. But I will tell you guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. I think that it's really, really important to note almost no realtors are using these apps for this reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same in real life, right? How many of us are using safety apps when we're out and about in regular life? We're not. Well, guess what? It's the same here. We're not doing it.
Right. Right.
So-
And these things, they do take a couple extra minutes. I get it. It's annoying. It's frustrating. But listen, you're going to be way more annoyed if you get shot.
That's annoying.
Super annoying.
Yeah.
Number 3, get people's driver's licenses before you go. Ask them for a picture of their driver's license. And then when you arrive, if it's not the person on the driver's license, don't get out of your car.
Hey, how about this? Remember when I talk about buyer broker agreements and I say if somebody doesn't want to sign one, that's generally a pretty good litmus test that there's going to be a problem in the long run working with them.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's a good, here, I need you to sign this agreement that says you're my client, I'm your realtor, and I'm going to be working for you, and you're going to be working with me. And it says that I actually get paid to do this for a living, and you're going to be credited back for the full amount of whatever a seller pays. So it could absolutely be at no charge to you, and blah, 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 all these things. And they go, you know what? The last realtor I worked with, he didn't make me sign anything, and I don't want to sign anything. Well, great. I've got 15 other people that I need to work with that have signed these. So I really don't have time. It's a litmus test. So if you ask somebody for a driver's license to be texted to you because your brokerage requires it,
Yep.
and they won't send it via text, well, maybe that's a flag,
Yeah,
a yellow, red flag.
absolutely.
And it's a real red flag if you show up and you've got their picture on your phone and you look at it and you look at the dude getting out of the car, and you're like, that ain't him.
Right. Right. It's an easy way. And, you know, if you think about it, somebody who is attempting to do harm is going to be less likely to share their driver's license with you.
Could they have made a fake? Yeah,
Sure.
but I got news for you. Generally speaking,
Mhm.
criminals are opportunists. Okay. They don't necessarily work real hard to commit their crimes. Okay. And that's not always the case, but that's a generalization that most criminal acts occur from moments of opportunity. And if you make someone send a driver's license off to you, it's not like they're going to go back to their computer and do the legwork of creating a fake ID, laminating it, printing it out so they can send to you. They're going to move on to a different person who's not going to be as conscientious about what risks are out there.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Number 4. And I added to this one. Get your concealed carry weapon if you want to. But I want to add that I have my concealed carry I don't carry everywhere with me because it doesn't make me feel safer to carry it with me. That's my preference. I have one, I have the license. I choose not to carry it everywhere at this time. However, taking the class was hugely beneficial because I learned a ton about situational awareness and just simple things that I could be doing to remain on guard without having to pull a weapon or even have a weapon. So I would highly suggest, even if you're not comfortable carrying a weapon of any sort, take a concealed carry class. They are very affordable and you get some really, really great information. Just
And now I totally 100% agree with that. But I would also like to add this word of warning about weapons.
Yes.
If you determine that you are going to take out your weapon, you better be ready to kill somebody.
Yes.
Okay. And as this is a really morbid conversation and very scary, I remember doing a class like this and I said this to someone, I can't remember who it was at a class, said that exact statement. And she said under her breath, I couldn't do it. Okay, then don't carry a gun, because the last thing you want to bring into the situation is a firearm if you ain't going to hold it and do something with it. So if you get a license to carry and you are carrying and you determine that your safety is at risk and you do take out your weapon, you better be ready to use it.
That's right. And they'll tell you that in a concealed carry class as well, which is exactly why I don't always carry mine. I will in certain situations, but that's exactly why I don't carry mine all the time. It's because I don't feel mentally prepared to shoot someone. Now I will, obviously, but that's why I don't carry it all the time. However, I got so many good tips from that class. I mean, I got so many good tips from that class just about even walking through my house at night. I still think about some of the things that they told me in that class. It's a great opportunity. If you want to take one, pop in the break room and let's see what if anybody else has taken a concealed carry class that they really.
And if you guys get, and Aaron, is something we can do with Liz can help with. If we can get enough people to sign up for one, we can have someone do a private class for us. We just have to have enough people wanting to do it. They require minimums.
Yeah.
So we could do that for sure.
Okay. I'm going to look that up. Awesome.
I'll even pay for it.
Oh, number 5, take a partner with you. And if you can't take a partner with you, then refer back to number 2, which is use that safety timer or the noon light or have somebody on FaceTime. And I said this a little while ago, put it in the break room. If you're going to an area of town that makes you uncomfortable or you're meeting someone who's given you that tingle up your spine, ask, is there anybody who can meet me to do this walkthrough with me? Make sure you get the driver's license. Make sure you do everything before that. Go ahead, Howard.
I want to add, this thing you just mentioned is a technological advancement, honestly. Now, Jacqueline is really good about texting me when she feels uncomfortable. I'm going to this address. Will you call me later? Right?
Yeah.
Erica does the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'd like to transition away from texting one person.
Yeah.
Texting me. Because what if I'm busy? Right? You're relying on one of, if you put it in the break room, hey guys, meeting a client I've never met before. Here are the addresses I'm going to.
Yes.
Now you've got the crowd, what do they call it? Crowd funding, for lack of a better word, but the crowd
sharing.
Yes, crowd sharing. You've got that working for your safety, right? I guarantee you, if you put in there, Pam is on point with this stuff for sure. And if you put in there, I'm seeing these 5 houses at these times, check in on me afterwards. I can guarantee you, Pam's going to be calling you 1 minute after your deadline. Where are you at?
Absolutely.
it's not Pam, it's Rena. If it's not Rena, it's Jillian. And it's gonna be like that if you throw it in the break room, because we're a big family and we all care about each other and no one wants to see anybody get hurt. So just texting me, I appreciate it. And I do call back and I check on you. But what if I can't? What if my phone dies?
Yeah. And not the Find My Friends app or any of those that has that GPS location, Noonlight, any of those things. It's such an easy thing to set up with someone you trust. My two best friends always know my location. It's not like they need to, but if something were to go wrong, they can open that up and see where my little blue dot is and know whether or not I'm okay. Just another way to use that. Let's talk about safety in open houses.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you said that you would prefer that the agent be outside. Can you explain that a little bit?
I can. So again, I think being in a vacant home increases your risk just because you're in a confined space. Sound is suppressed.
Mhm.
You know, it's just increases the risk.
Mhm.
So for me, if the weather's permitting, I like to do open houses outside.
Mhm.
With a table, with a cooler, with some cookies, with a cornhole, with the flags, with the balloons, and make it kind of a big deal that I'm out front. I'm waving at people as they go by. I'm making a big stink and a festival in the yard, trying to get people to see this house,
Mhm.
weather permitting, of course. That to me seems safer.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, I can't tell you how many open houses I've gone to where I walk through the front door and I don't see anyone there
Mhm.
until I find them sitting in a chair in like the back corner of a family room reading a book. And I literally walked in one time. I'm not kidding. This is a true story. I walked in, I finally found this girl. She was room and she stood, oh my God. She stood up. You caught me by surprise. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how
That
dangerous
should
is
not be a
this?
thing. Mhm.
Right. So stay by the front door. There are different philosophies on the safety of what you should do while you're in an open house. Some people say leave the back door open. So if you need to escape quickly, you can. I don't like that because if you leave the back door open, you are now relinquishing control to someone to sneak in through the back door.
Mhm.
Whereas if the door is closed and locked, you still maintain the control over the lock. So if you had to get out, yes, it's an additional step of having to do the lock, but I prefer having the door locked and closed, which is a change from about 5 years ago where they were like, leave the door open, you can get out quickly. All right. So I prefer to have it locked. I think you need to be by the front door so you can see every single person who pulls up, who's getting out of the car, who's coming in, so you can prepare yourself and you can get the jump on them.
Yeah.
Versus the jump on you.
Yeah.
Those are important. Lights all need to be on. You need to know, and don't walk people through the house. Do not walk people through the house because that means
surprised me. I didn't know that one.
Well, here's why, right?
Yeah.
I get the salesmanship of showing homes. So when I'm showing a home, let's say Rena's with me and she's the buyer and I'm showing her this house and it's just me and her husband and her kids and I'm showing them through the house. Well, that's just us, right? And I can walk them to the home, right? But at an open house, Rena might show up with her family, but 5 minutes later, someone else might show up or the bad guy shows up. And my back, I'm talking to Rena and the family about the kitchen and stuff. And here comes this guy walking in that I didn't even know showed up. I didn't even know he was there. And my back's to him. Right. So I just think for an open house, it's a different environment. Okay. If you want to sell the home at an open house or sell features of the home, guess what? You can make features and highlights cards to put in different rooms to highlight things in the house. If you want to get real tech savvy, you can use an Alexa. And there are apps you can buy for open houses where you can put a card down that says, ask Alexa about this kitchen.
Yeah.
And let's go, thank you for asking about this kitchen. This kitchen has granite countertops, stainless steel. And yes, that none of this stuff's free, but it's out there. So open houses are a scary thing, but boy, do they work. I mean, look what happened with Jen Kespel, right?
Yeah.
And she had an open house on a home that was already under contract, had an open house, picked up a listing and doing that so they work. I love that open house. I think they're a spectacular way to get high value leads for low price.
Yeah.
But you got to be safe. And look, there's another thing you can do at open houses that's typically pretty easy, which is get a partner to come, either a title company guy, a mortgage guy, somebody will come at least for a few hours, and I'd rather have them there than not.
100%. And again, if you're doing an open house, letting people know in your life where you are, having that GPS available for the people that are in your life so that they're aware of where your open house is. And, I've seen a number of people posting, the times that they're going to have or hold the open house. And I'm very glad to see that most of the time it's like midday. But that one woman, and I don't remember where it was, but it was the really famous story of the realtor that was murdered here recently. She was leaving the open house in the evening. And it's like, y'all, we can't control when our clients are going to want to see homes all the time. We do have to accommodate that, but we can decide when we're doing open houses. And if one thing that we can decide is that we do it midday when it's bright and sunny and we're not wandering around in the dark, why don't we do that? Here's an interesting tip that I thought Howard and I came up with that makes me chuckle, but you might not be something that you've thought about. Maybe don't wear high heels.
Oh no, can't wear high heels
to an open house.
You know what? Let me go so far as to say, don't wear high heels ever.
Yeah.
I mean, in real estate, you can wear them wherever you want, but unless you're Jillian and can run a 4.340 in a pair of heels, which by the way, she can. I don't know if you knew that, Aaron. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. She can run a 4.
It's been a while.
So, so now she's like a 4.6, but if you have to set the stage for the fight in your favor. And actually I wanted to say something. So let me transition that moment to the fight. And I pray none of you guys have to be in this fight, but it could happen. And I'm getting goosebumps just leading into this talk. I just want you to know that. And I hope that everybody else gets goosebumps when they hear this, because I'm getting them right now. They're going up my back. They're going on the back of my arms. I can feel the goosebumps as I'm about to talk about this.
Me too.
If you are attacked and if a fight is occurring,
yeah,
this is not a high school fight. This is not kids fighting at the bus stop. This is a fight where only one of you gets to go home that night and see your family. Only one. That's the mindset you have to have. One of you is going to go home tonight and see your family, and the other one is not.
We don't ever want to think about that.
I know, but it's the truth. So when you get the heebie-jeebies or the feeling like something is wrong, you need to be getting yourself ready to fight for your life. That's what it's got to be.
Yeah.
It has to be that you are going home tonight. You are going home and you're going to fight for your life. You're not getting in somebody's car. You're not getting in somebody's trunk. If they have a gun, they're going to shoot you now.
Yeah.
We're not doing it. We're going to fight. And there's going to be a bloodletting right here. And I'm going home to see my family because you're the bad guy and I'm not.
Yeah.
And it has to be that mindset. When you are walking in, and this is especially for my round table ladies, although men get attacked too. This guy got killed by this kid.
Yeah.
But for my ladies, do not make excuses for gray area bad behavior. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. If you are showing someone a home and you're walking into a room or through a door, and a man puts his hand on your shoulder or the small of your back, leading you into a room or whatever, that is it. Time out. We need to go outside.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get out of this house. We're going to go outside and we're going to have a conversation. Okay. Or you're just going to leave. Because, I have never asked you guys to sell an extra home. I've never asked you guys to sell more homes. I don't care. I don't care if y'all don't sell a single home as long as you stay safe. That's the number one most paramount thing that goes on at Roundtable, period. I love all of you guys. I don't intend to have anybody here get hurt. If you have to leave and walk away from $1 million sale, you better do it. You better do it. Don't think it's me that is telling you to do it, because I'm dang sure not. I want you guys not to do it.
Right.
If this guy is, and this is why I say the ladies, and Aaron, please explain to me how this happens. I don't know how it happens, but something in society makes women almost explain away or rationalize or apologize for these kind of behaviors that shouldn't happen, but maybe, well, he didn't mean anything by that. Or, well, I don't think that was his intention. Or did he do that? I'm not sure. I don't know what it is that
I do.
Please.
We are taught as women to be nice.
Well, don't be.
We are taught from a very young age to be nice. And there's nothing wrong with being nice, but we are taught that lesson so many different ways. And we are never taught the lesson of, but listen to your gut, trust your instinct, and don't be afraid to hurt someone or for someone to not like you because you were following your gut. We aren't taught that, generally speaking. We're not.
Well,
we're taught to be nice and to be accommodating. And it's only with experience and time and age that we start to realize, oh, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't feel safe. I don't like this feeling. Whereas generally speaking, and this isn't a feminist thing, but it's true, men are typically taught to follow their instincts and not care if people like them. And we just have to learn that as women. We have to learn it sooner. That's all.
This is a dominated woman's business industry. Dominated. Predominantly the percentages are, I can look it up or we can look it up. The percentages are off the charts that this is a woman dominated industry. So I encourage you all to be badasses and don't apologize for some dude's borderline-ish behavior. If he puts his hand on you, it's inappropriate in any way.
That's right.
If they say something about your looks, it's inappropriate, period.
Correct.
If any of those things that you are going to try and explain away, don't do it.
Absolutely.
That's it. And I'm going to back you up. Tell you that. Listen, if we end up going to court because you punched some dude in the face and he put his hand on you to walk through a door and you overreacted or reacted or however you want to describe it and punched him in the face, and we got to go to court. I'm right there with you, standing there and go, listen, I have taught them time and again that this is the most dangerous business there is. I think I would rank this up with crab fishermen in Alaska. Okay. This is so dangerous, y'all. You're meeting strangers and showing them vacant homes in areas of town that you don't know, in sometimes homes without electricity. Sometimes, it's just so dangerous that you have to have your guard up. And I see it all the time. So this home is 1,423 square feet and it is located in this community and the HOA fee is this and the CAD fee is this. And then you go, oh, wow, you are awfully close to me.
Right.
Can't do it. We have to be more careful. Have to.
Yep.
And I hope I'm scaring some people, the people that watch this and pay attention. I hope you get a little heebie-jeebie and a little bit scared.
I definitely am. Yeah, I definitely am. Did you say Pam had a story?
I think Pam, didn't you have a story about a weirdo once?
Well, yeah, probably lots of weirdos, but not too long ago, I was previewing houses for a client, and I got to the house, and I had an appointment, and I get there, and there's a couple cars in the driveway, and I open the door, and I could tell that someone had been cooking in the kitchen, and I took a cup, and I'm hollering, hello, hello, and nobody's answering. And I took a few more steps into the family room. The TV was on, food was sitting on the tray on the table, and I just turned around and walked out because I don't know. It was weird to me that, nobody was answering me and nobody was supposed to be there. The realtor had told me nobody was home. So that one, I just hightailed it out of there.
You did the right thing. I actually have two stories, Aaron. I don't know if I've ever told you these.
No.
I was showing a home in, I think the neighborhood was called Candlewood, which is off of Argyle Forest Boulevard, Candlewood, which is very funny because when the community was under construction, a home caught fire in that. And I thought, Candlewood, huh? Who'd have thunk Candlewood would had a home catch fire? But anyway, I was showing houses, and I remember going to this 2-story home, and the lockbox opened the door, and it was all dark. This is the middle of the day, lights are completely off, and the home, like all the blinds are closed, it was very dark. And there was rock music playing. And I opened the door and I yelled, "Realtor, here to show the home." No answer. So me and the people kind of walk in, but I'm going pretty slow, like, what's happening here? And I got to like where the kitchen and family room open up. And the rock music was so loud, like it was like a concert, and the doors were all shut to the additional rooms. And you want to talk about like dark energy and stuff. I felt the goosebumps. I'm getting them right now. I feel them again. I was getting the goosebumps and everything. And I was like, crap, let's go. And we got the heck out. We just got out. Okay. And you just have to be that way. It's not worth it. And then the other one, which was really weird. I mean, but you want to talk about following your gut, man. I was selling new homes, new home sales site agent. And dude showed up, single dude. I mean, one guy showed up, and he wanted to see a spec home. And we went outside, and I said, "Do you want me to drive?" He said, "No, I'll drive." Okay. And I got in his car. Now I'm a dude, so it's a little, I felt a little bit more secure. Maybe that's kind of a facade or fake that I do to myself.
Yeah.
And I got in the car and we drove. Gosh, it was probably half a mile up the street in the community to the spec home. Got out, and it was just weird because when I was in the car, there wasn't a whole lot of rapport or conversation. It was just awkward. We got into the home. It was all awkward all the time. He acted weird, which probably made me act weird. Just was not clicking, very off vibe. And then we were getting ready to go. And he said, "Okay, do you want to get back in the car with me?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to walk." And I literally walked half a mile in like July heat in clothes like this. And I got back to the model home, and Keith, I think, might have been there. I don't remember if I was there by myself that day, but I was like, "No, not getting back in that car." Felt dark energy. Go ahead, Pam.
I was going to say, I was at a NEFAR class one time, and the instructor told us a story of how someone had called her, wanted her to show some property, and the address was kind of, far out, isolated, not in a neighborhood. And so she asked her husband to go with her, and he did. And as they pulled up, and this was someone she'd never met, but as she pulled up, her husband dropped something, and she's pulling up, and he had bent down to pick it up. And when he sat up, the guy saw him, jumped in his car, and drove off. And she said she knows that guy had bad intentions.
Cindy McCahill, I think, has a story about that same thing. It was a house way out there, and she drove out there, and it might have been Tracy Losi. I don't remember, but I might think it might have been Tracy, and pulled down the driveway, just got the heebie-jeebies from the start. And I think maybe the dude pulled up, or maybe didn't. She just said, "Nope, not getting out of the car," and drove off. And that's the way it has to be.
It is. It's crazy. And,
Amen.
I'm sure you're going to touch on this, but I'm getting ready to walk into the eye doctor. But, I got in I took a self-defense class years ago, and one of the things they taught you was, there are things you can do. They just need to be simple enough for you to remember them, because you can know all the tricks in the book.
That's right.
And if you don't know them, if you can't remember them under pressure, but I mean, there's lots of little simple things like, poking your fingers in someone's throat, or I'd rather push somebody's eyeballs out than be dead at the end of the day.
Well, and Pam, but that's the thing I need you guys to do is understand that you're not fighting to get away. You're not fighting to hurt them. You're fighting to go home to your family, and that might mean you have to kill them.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if you happen to be in there and don't have anything, I mean, if you can find a fire poker and knock their head off, but
Whatever it takes. I mean, whatever it takes. You have to go to another place that I don't think any of you guys have ever gone to personally. I'm sure you haven't. And it's the sort of stuff you see in movies that you think isn't real.
Absolutely.
You have to get to a place where your desire to see your family is all that matters. And yes, if you talk to any police officer, they're going to say, do what you got to do to create space and get away. Yes, your goal is to get away, get loud, scream, all those things. But my point is that when the fight is occurring, when you're throwing bows, when you're hitting them, it's not to make them pause. It's not to hurt them. You are hitting them with all of the strength God gave you in that moment. And the adrenaline pumping, you might break their face. And that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna end it on this note. We talk so much about scheduling your time blocking. We talk so much about leaving yourself space for things that are important to you, that fill you up, that light you up. And this might seem like a weird connection, but we do that because when you're running yourself into the ground, and you're not pulling your head up from that phone to be present and conscious of what's happening around you, that's when you are the most at risk. So if you're not creating space in your life for you to be present in this moment, for you to be able to be consciously aware of what's going on around you, that's when you get hurt. That's when you get yourself into a situation where, I'm just going to show this one house really fast, and then I'm going to blow through it, and I'm going to turn all the lights on, I'm going to run out, and I got to go quick because my kid's got a game, and I got to meet so-and-so for dinner, and I got to get over here to get this lockbox, and blah, 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 blah. When you're constantly running on a motor like that, you lose touch with this moment and those instincts. So just another freaking vote for time blocking, for having a schedule that allows for you to recenter and regroup every single day, no matter what it is. We talk about it all the time in so many different contexts, and this is just another one. Why it's so important.
All right, you guys. I love y'all. Be safe. All right.
Love you.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.